Hello and welcome back to another interview. We are at the AIBC Day 2. I'm Adel, I'm the host, and today I have a special guest, Andrew Fenton from SEON. We'd like to know more about your company and yourself, so over to you.
Absolutely, thank you. So SEON is an anti-fraud platform that's built for payments firms, gaming firms and operators to enable them to identify potential bad users, reduce the risk of fraud throughout the entire client lifecycle.
Brilliant. And so if I were a client, how would you onboard me if I were interested to be a client of yours and use your platform?
Absolutely. So what we would do is we connect through a single API, and then we would help you build rules and metrics to identify bad users within different parts of your process and help you identify the risk score attached to them, and then let you use that information to either drive automation or remove those clients from your ecosystem.
And what does it look like when I've been attacked, or what does it look like when I'm in the process of being attacked?
So potentially that can look in many different ways. It can be suspicious devices that come en masse onto your platform, or it could be users that have set up multiple accounts to try and spoof you or get additional bonuses from you. What our solution will do is identify the suspicious device that's being used, but also connect that to other users that may be suspicious and allow you to remove en masse those users from your solution.
Interesting. And let's say, is this foolproof? As in, is this completely foolproof? Like no attack is able to penetrate through?
Nothing's foolproof, Adel. What this does, though, this builds on the fact that we have 5,000 clients and we do 250 million fraud checks a month. And all of that learned experience across multiple different industries allows us to identify new and innovative fraudulent methods. Fraudsters will always try new things,
right?
But what they will do is they'll try one industry, then they'll move to another. Because we have such a wide array of clients across different geographies, we're able to apply that learning to different operators and different industry segments that may not have seen that type of fraud yet and help stop it before it turns into a financial loss.
And based on this information, what are the most common types of frauds that you're seeing?
So, in particular within the gaming industry, the most top common types we see are multi-accounting, so that's what we would call bonus abuse. So, for example, an operator gives a small bonus out, somebody decides to set up multiple accounts. That can be one person setting up 10, it can be a bot farm setting up 10,000. The other thing we see quite commonly is account takeovers, so where a user is a real user that's verified, and then they get their account bought off them by a fraudster who will then commit fraud, knowing full well that user is unlikely to be checked again because they've been verified at the start of the process.
That's a new one. I've not heard of this one, but no, that is definitely possible. I've got a verified, I'm using my own case here. I've got a verified Instagram account, but no one's to say that someone could buy it, hack into it, and then now that it's verified, they can do all sorts of, unwanted, unsolicited messages to people and things like that.
And it's the same kind of thing in the gaming world. So you're verified as a user, you're seen as a low risk for money laundering, for example, or fraud. And then when you sell that account, somebody then uses that to exploit gaming, exploit bonuses, commit arbitrage, for example, or in the poker world, for example, multiple users rigging a game against a bona fide normal user.
And using this very specific example, I know you touched on this, but how is it that SEON prevents this particular type of fraud?
So in particular, what we look at is the device that the user has come onto the platform with, but also the kind of behavior. An example might be, I register with an iMac, and then all of a sudden I'm using a 5-year-old Lenovo when the next time I log in. So that's an immediate red flag. But in addition to that, it's what we call velocity rules. So looking at how they behave. So an example might be, I register with a prepaid debit card. All of a sudden, I then decide to add a crypto wallet to that. All of a sudden, I add different payment mechanisms, or I use a card that's registered in a different country for where I'm supposed to be from.
Interesting, very interesting. And are you using we are in the age of AI, are you using any AI technologies, or are these all manually, flagged by humans?
No, we are designed for organizations that are digital first to enable them to automate very, very well. So in addition to the rules that are created through our fraud expertise and the experts we have in-house, we have rules that are generated through AI by the sheer volume of traffic we see on our platform. Where we are unique is that we then have AI built in that looks at that customer's unique traffic. So an operator that works in Peru, for example, will have a very different type of customer to one that has clients in Vietnam. And the tool looks at the traffic that comes through and identifies potential fraud risks. And as we look at here, is to identify those risks before the financial loss happens rather than afterwards.
So it looks like you're automating your services of tracking these down. When does the AI stop and the manual intervention, human intervention come in?
So the human intervention comes in when that organization wants to manually review something. So we have customers where they have such high volumes, the only thing they will review manually is something that is high risk. So a large VIP user that wants to make a $10,000 crypto payment. Most organizations will use us very early on to filter out the rubbish customers that come on board, and will then use the automation within the system to work through where they place those customers within a workflow.
Wow, very interesting, very insightful. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Appreciate that, Adel. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this insightful. Keep following our page. We've got many more interviews to do, and we'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Bye for now.